Welcome back to In My Feelings, a safe space to talk all things NBA. I'm Big Waz. Let's go. All right, let's get right into fact or feelings, folks. Fact or feelings. The Nuggets and Minnesota Timberwolves second round series is the de facto NBA Finals. I'm going to say that's a fact. I tweeted out that, in my opinion, this second round matchup was essentially the Western Conference Championship was up for grabs. And my guy, Ben Thompson, No Tech Ben on Twitter, he quote tweeted me with something I thought was pretty cool. He said, no, actually, it's an NBA championship preview, meaning the Wolves and the Nuggets are the two best teams left in the playoffs, and I thought that was quite provocative. The more I thought about it, the more I agreed. One, let's get the Western Conference out of the way. OKC, who's already clinched, punched their ticket to the second round with an impressive sweep of a very limited New Orleans Pelicans, who were without Zion Williamson, their best player by far, and a hobbled Brandon Ingram. OKC has limitations that were not able to be exploited by the New Orleans Pelicans quite effectively. One, of course, we've said it all year, being their size on the interior. And I think their youth, when they get put in those very tough, very tight spots, that's going to also be a limitation for them. Luka isn't playing up to his very best standards. They don't feel like championship playoff level teams. To bring us back to the ultimate topic of our mission statement here, when I look at the Wolves and I look at the defending champ Denver Nuggets, just top to bottom, I still think the Nuggets offense is the best unit in all of basketball. And I gotta say, man, the freaking Wolves defense is the second best unit in all of basketball right now in the playoffs. The way they were able to grind the Phoenix Suns offense, a team full of offensive world beaters, we were led to believe. They ground those dudes into a dust. This team is just, they got the juice right now, but they're going up against the world champs, which, man, in that Lakers series, I think you saw on multiple fronts, especially in crunch time, the offense is just a quality look generating machine. And to me, in a playoff setting, there is no more dangerous weapon than an offense in the tightest of spots against the best defenses on the biggest stage under the most pressure. These guys are able to generate nothing but quality looks after quality look. To me, these guys gotta be the favorites, the two favorites to win the championship. And look, Boston Celtics, we get it. Regular season juggernaut. We know the limitations of the rest of the Eastern Conference. The two most impressive teams that I've seen in this postseason are the Denver Nuggets and the freaking Minnesota Timberwolves. This series that we're heading into in the second round, to me, is going to ultimately decide the NBA champion. All right, guys, let's get right into vibe check. And I wanted to do something a little bit different this week. Not talk about a player or a team, but I wanted to get into the general discourse around transactional news within the NBA. For the last few years, I want to say there's been a steady drumbeat of loud dissenters on the internet of people who feel like the amount of oxygen that quote-unquote news breaking and transactions and gossip and rumors get in the media has become a little bit too outsized, and they're a little annoyed by it. I just want to declare right here, I myself have been very critical of the way collectively as an NBA media, we give just too much time and energy to quote-unquote breaking news and gossip and innuendo. Respect to all the newsbreakers. The Shams, former colleague of mine, I have a nice relationship with him. I respect what this guy does. I couldn't turn around and do his job. Adrian Wojnarowski, my man Chris Haynes, all of these guys do a great job. And I understand why people feel like they get tired of the first thing not being an analysis of the actual product on the court and talking about what's going to happen in the future, potential trades, free agency, superstars, forces. I understand that. Now let's bring it back to the Suns, the Lakers being eliminated from the playoffs. Stephen A. Smith comes out on his TV show and talks about he's heard that Devin Booker is very interested in making a move to New York. LeBron, in his post game on Twitter, he's getting super cute about what he's going to do in free agency and what his future team is. We know LeBron. He loves the attention. He's already starting the drum beat in anticipation for, July and his free agency.
I'm not going to answer that. Appreciate it.
Stephen A. Smith puts that, he puts that out there. I sort of commented on Twitter because, one, people are saying, oh, this is nonsense, Steve. I'm like, guys, if Stephen A. is saying something on his TV show, I promise you this is one of the most well-connected, most tapped-in people in our entire industry. I think the general fan would be shocked by how well-connected Stephen A. Smith specifically is. This dude is not just pulling shit out of his ass and saying it on air. There's validity to what he's saying. Not saying it's a crystal ball, but there is validity to what he's bringing to light here. And people are just like, who cares? The Knicks are still having a great season. The playoffs are still happening. Talk about on the court. We don't care about this potential. Stephen A's been wrong all the time. Who cares? Guys, the Lakers and the Suns are actually in the offseason. What happens with the Suns roster and the Lakers roster is fair game to talk about. They're no longer playing. Okay, they just got kicked out. It's fair to say, to pontificate, to wonder what they're going to do in the future. So, again, while I do agree that sometimes we give the future transactions too much oxygen, guys, relax. It's okay to talk about the offseason of a team whose offseason has just started. Just really quickly before we get up out of here, guys, I want to give a very special shout out to Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers because we're taping this in anticipation of Game 6 back in Philadelphia, a Game 6 that this man is almost single-handedly responsible for making happen for his team. I want to give a shout out to him for a couple of reasons. One, a couple of years ago, Kyle Lowry, who is a Philadelphia native son, grew up in Philadelphia, played at Villanova famously. He came up in trade discussions. And I was somebody, and this was Tyrese Maxey's second season. And, obviously by that time he hadn't shown himself to be what he's doing now. But I was somebody who felt like a Kyle Lowry transaction could catapult Philadelphia into the upper echelon of the championship window. And I was like, as promising as Maxey is as a young player, I thought that was something they should do and include Maxey in that deal because a championship window is only ever so slightly open. And the fact that they could put themselves there, I was somebody who thought they should be aggressive in doing that. 2, Maxey was eligible for an extension last year, and his own team deemed him not worthy of a max extension. And Tyrese Maxey said, all right, bet. I'm going to show you in my 4th season in the NBA that I am worth every single penny of the max extension that I've requested. And this guy has done nothing but go out and prove it time after time again this whole season. And boy, in Game 5, his team down 3-1, the season on the brink, the performance that this kid handed in, I don't give a damn what happens the rest of the postseason. Tyrese Maxey has stamped himself as a major figure in our league, a guy, a bona fide star. He's doing it on the biggest stages in the biggest moments in Madison Square Garden. 7 points in the last 30 seconds, just nailing 2 3-pointers, one of them being an and one. Pressure-packed at moments when his MVP, Joel Embiid, look, is just a shell of himself, tired as hell, hobbled, couldn't generate anything, and all of the things that were happening for Philadelphia were happening because Tyrese Maxey was creating it, man. This guy has stepped up, man, in such a way that I just think he deserves his flowers. He's going to absolutely get paid this summer because he so richly deserves it. And I look forward to just watching this guy's career unfold. His effervescence, his attitude, man, by all accounts, this guy is an A1 character guy, ultimate team guy, ultimate upbeat guy. He is just a light for our league, man. And I got to give it up to Tyrese Maxey for what he's done for his name and reputation this postseason. All right, folks, that was our show for today. Make sure you subscribe to the Ringer NBA's YouTube page. Hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the like so the algorithm can understand to spread this thing far and wide. And make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get a message in your inbox every time we drop another In My Feelings. We will see you guys next week. Peace.